The left is really mad as Louisiana has passed a new mandate to have the 10 Commandments on a poster posted at every public school. If you're new here, my name is Sperrazzo, and welcome to the channel. Louisiana's new mandate is the first step in a sinister vision for the country. I always like reading from, other sources. MSNBC, this is awesome. On June 19th, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry signed House Bill 71 into law. Beginning next year, the new law will require all elementary, secondary schools, and universities that receive state funding to display the 10 Commandments in every classroom. The law also requires that commandments display include text explaining how studying the 10 Commandments has a long history in the American public education. No school or university must spend funds creating these displays. They can accept monetary donations or the displays themselves to comply with the new mandate. And this is the case they've been making, which is it's not a religious thing, it's a historical thing. We've had them in public schools for so many years, and we're bringing it back to teach the history of that lesson. It says in the article here, Louisiana has become the first state in the country to require public schools to display the 10 Commandments in the classroom since the Supreme Court declared such a requirement unconstitutional more than 40 years ago. The legal question that looms over this entire issue is whether mandating the 10 Commandments be hung in a classroom violates the Establishment Clause, which forbids the government from taking any action to establish a state religion or show favoritism to any religion or non-religion. Now, I was talking with Ruslan, and he pointed out the fact that, hey, the 10 Commandments is actually one of the most agreed upon things across all religions. I mean, it covers at least all the Abrahamic religions, which is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Now, this continues to go on as they try to make the case that, well, it's slightly different. The 10 Commandments that they want are slightly different than the Catholic 10 Commandments. So they're requiring a Protestant denomination. And the Hindu kids will feel sad because it says there's no other gods before me. But I would propose that even outside the theological frame of the 10 Commandments, which I firmly believe, there is a massively beneficial natural law proponents to the 10 Commandments that I don't think anyone should have a problem with. Number one, thou shalt have no other gods before me. This is the one that's getting them concerned about the little Hindu little boys and girls. But what are the other things that may be considered gods in our time? If you don't want to believe in God, but you want to enjoy the 10 Commandments, well, I would propose screen time. Average screen time usage statistics 2023. People have 6 hours and 58 minutes of screen time per day. Daily screen time has increased by 50 minutes per day. The average American spends 7 hours and 4 minutes looking at screens each day. Now, of course, not all of that is going to be straight consumerism and entertainment, but there is something to say about what you give the most of your attention to is often what you value the most. So in the free time, I think we're seeing a rise of technology for kids, especially students who hate their school and hate their subjects, zoning out and scrolling and doom scrolling when they get home and on break and all these sort of things. And I would propose that this is an example of them creating a god before them. They're giving that the most attention. Number two, you shall not make any idols. Now, I find it funny that the show American Idol has long established that we have these American idols in the form of celebrities or even singers. And as we see Sam Smith here at the Grammys performing his satanic ritual is an example of the type of people that we are platforming to be the example and the idols, the American idols for our kids. But maybe you're not a religious person, but I know if you're not religious, you still don't want this. Number three, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Now, this is the funny one. It's going to get people thinking, hey, well, this self-admits that you have to be okay with the idea that you have to be reverent towards a God. Well, I will say, even if you are not a Christian or you don't believe in a God, there's always a scenario that is dangerous enough for you to be in which someone starts praying. You don't believe in a magic sky daddy until you need to believe in a magic sky daddy. So my thought is, if you're going to call upon God that you don't believe in yet at the time of your deepest crisis, you might as well operate in your day-to-day with a little bit of reverence. Number four says, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Now, my question is, taking a Sabbath, taking a day off, was God wrong? Or is this continue to be true? Psychology Today says taking a day off and not having a 7-day work week can improve mental well-being. Taking a day off is an opportunity to hop off the gerbil wheel of work and focus on well-being. It also increased productivity improved physical health, improved work-life balance, increased emotional resilience. I know some of y'all are unhinged, especially the people in the public school system, so this wouldn't hurt some of those kids, and cultivation of mental health-friendly workplace culture and reduction of employee burnout. Sounds like even from a naturalist perspective, taking a Sabbath, taking a day off is extremely beneficial for one's mental health and continuing to be a productive person in society. Number 5 says, honor your father and your mother. Now, if we want to go purely based off of the academic institution's metrics of success, we have here link between family structure and college graduation is stronger for millennials than boomers. So the millennials that had growing up in an intact family crushed, and then the boomers who grew up in an intact family versus a non-intact family also crushed their college graduation rates. But even from a financial perspective, we see reaching middle class or higher by mid-30s is higher for growing up in intact families. I'm not going to be the guy that says your father and your mother are always right and you need to submit to their every single will, but there's a level of honor to who they are and how their role is in bringing you into this earth that the 10 Commandments clearly lies out here is going to be beneficial for you. Now, number 6, you shall not murder. I probably don't have to make a case for this one, but I will. Hey, murder's not good. Especially for the liberals, if you don't want mass shootings and you don't want anyone to have a gun, then it's got to start with the idea, hey, like maybe we shouldn't murder anybody because then we won't have to use guns to stop murder. So boom, that's another one for the 10 Commandments. 7, you shall not commit adultery. The share of respondents who reported to have cheated on any partner in the United States from 1960 to 1921. As you can see, adultery and cheating on your spouse is on the rise, which is causing more broken families, which is causing worse turnouts for young children that don't have the mother and father in their home. So I think this is another win for the 10 Commandments. You shall not steal is number 8 of the 10 Commandments, which again, if we go back, we see theft is the most common property crime. Statistically, the kids in school are going to be most likely to become little thieves. So the best thing to do is to teach them not to steal. Now, number 9, you shall not bear false witness. There's been countless young men who have had false witness when it comes to getting Me Too'd. I mean, even look at Johnny Depp, an older gentleman who got Me Too'd but then vindicated. And this is a massive problem. A lot of young men losing scholarships to colleges because they become a star player and an ex-girlfriend wants to bear a false witness. I think this is another one good to teach. Hey, if we want to rise up our community and a rising tide raises all ships, then maybe we shouldn't tear other people down with false lies. And then number 10, you shall not covet. Jealousy is just kind of a gross emotion. Like, I want what you have. It puts the other person that has the thing that you want in a defensive mode, even though they didn't do anything to you. So I think this is a great list of things we can teach even from a natural law perspective to the students. And if anyone has a disagreement with one of these, then let's hear it. We should all agree on this at this point. So that's my thoughts on the Louisiana 10 Commandments. It's definitely not going to hurt. I want to know what you guys think down below. Comment. I want to hear from you. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.